but it does represent some kind of change in our standards. What has happened to our concepts of beauty and decency and morality?
One more thing. Put it over here.
Now it's time for Twisted Kid, Twisted Kid, Twisted Kid. Yeah, now it's time for Twisted Kid, so listen to our mixtape. Twisted!
Hola. Welcome. Willkommen.
Bienvenue.
This is the Bienvenue. This is the Mixtape Podcast, and this is a mini twist presentation. And we're about to grace you with the first Twisted Kid tonight on a very special episode. Yeah. I'm Jason Emmitt, by the way, and with me, as always, the video man on demand. That's you, dude. That is the best I was going to
Twisted Kid Matt.
I just left it open for you. You could do it however you wanted. All right, so what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be, well, you're going to start getting a lot of these. Well, hopefully a lot of these. We decided we wanted to go back to some of those like 80s and 90s TV shows where they did the tonight on a very special episode. And then we were going to like watch them. And then we're going to give our reviews and opinions. So this could be interesting, I would think.
Let's hope.
You might have guessed from the artwork Matt put up what this episode's going to be about. There you go.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of discussion about it, and we were like, well, how do we start this thing? What do we kick? Because we have a list, man. We have a list, and it's going to be interesting shit. So we talked like, what do we do to kick this one off? And Matt and I decided it's going to be Jessie's song from Saved by the Bell. Everybody, if you don't know this episode, you know this clip.
Yeah.
Like, how do you not? Like, everybody knows this clip, right?
It's probably the most famous episode of Saved by the Bell that's ever been.
Definitely
released.
amongst them, if not the famous. I would say you're probably correct, though. At least that clip is one of the most famous. I don't know. I never know where to look in these things. Should I stare right at the camera? Is that fucking weird?
Look directly into the camera. Where's my camera?
So tonight we are going to be. I can see into your soul.
Right there.
So Jessie's song, this one premiered on November 3rd, 1990. This is season 2, episode 9. If you guys don't know where to watch it, it's probably available all kinds of places, but Peacock has all of Saved by the Bell on
Which
there. So that's where I watched
on
it.
Peacock it says it's season 3, episode 9. But
I know.
Everywhere else it's supposedly season 2, episode 9.
Yeah, which is really
your
weird.
mileage may vary on that.
You are correct, sir. On Peacock, I had to find it in season 3, which threw me off. But if you look it up and you read online, everywhere it's listed as season 2, episode 9. So who the hell knows? So they gave a quick little synopsis on, I think this was IMDb or maybe Hulu. I don't know, but we'll read it really quick. Jessie turns to caffeine pills as a result of the pressure with midterms, and her singing group, which this doesn't say, but we're going to tell you, Hot Sunday. Ignoring
Sunday.
Slater's warning that the pills can damage her health. Yes, that's right. Jessie gets addicted to caffeine. I can't even fucking say it with a straight face.
Quote unquote caffeine pills. It's trucker speed. She's taking trucker speed.
It was supposed to be speed.
Yeah.
So if you go and do a little research, that's what they wanted. They wanted to have an episode where she gets addicted to speed. But I guess, the people upstairs threw a fit about it, and they were like, no, we can't have speed, so they just made it caffeine.
Yeah.
Which essentially all they did was change the name to caffeine. Like, it's totally not caffeine.
Yeah.
If you've ever taken caffeine
tweaking.
pills,
Yeah.
which I'm betting you've taken caffeine pills.
Me? No, I just drink a lot of coffee.
Yeah. But I mean, they might give you a sudden little whoa, and that's about the extent of it. Anyway, it's speed. She's taking speed. They just changed the name. So a lot to say about this episode. And I want to start at the very beginning of this. They sing the Pointer Sister song at the very beginning. So Jessie's like studying for this
very
test.
randomly. Yeah.
So she's studying midterms, right? And she's worried she's not going to pass, and they're kind of giving her a hard time because they want her to sing with them. It's very random.
Yeah.
You're right. Makes no sense. But we on the mixtape. I never know where to point, but it's over there somewhere. On the mixtape, on our podcast, we did an episode of inappropriate song lyrics and or songs.
I was thinking about that too. Yeah.
During this whole thing, because it's a fucking. They don't want her to talk about speed, but they totally let them sing a song about getting laid and getting lucky, which is what I'm so excited is all about. So they randomly sing it in the max, which, by the way, it's very interesting that they have a jukebox that just apparently plays the music and not the words because they like sing over top of it.
Yeah,
anyway.
It was the karaoke version, I guess.
Yeah, which is it's the max, so everything's probably karaoke.
Everything's magical at the max because they had wasn't it just magical. Max? The guy that owned the place was a magician.
I think probably.
Yeah.
Probably. It's weird because remember, like, I think we talk about this on an episode of the show too recently. In all these shows, there's always like these hangout diners. Yep. Like in
Power
90210 was the Peach Pit. Yeah, and then we had it in Power Rangers. It's like, where's this crap? We didn't have we hung out at
you guys
Denny's.
Tried to gaslight me to believe that everywhere had these places. I'm like, no, they don't. They don't exist.
We hung out at Denny's. I don't know.
Yeah, most people hang out at Denny's. You go buy a cup of coffee and they can't kick you out. Like,
or Perkins,
it's like,
whatever.
You've been here for 8 hours. It's a 24-hour establishment. I bought my coffee. I'm a customer. Leave me alone. I'm going to sit there and play with the creamer cups. I'm going to stack them up into a pyramid, knock them down, and then leave you a tip, and you're going to like it. So
$1.
Yeah, you get $1 from the entire table. And then, even though we were here for 4 hours,
it's the Waffle House, but it starts with Denny's and Perkins or someplace like that, right?
Yeah.
But all these shows, they have a place like this, and if you watch Saved by the Bell, you know that they have the Max, and that's where they're hanging out, is at the Max. So they're, like I said, she's studying for this test. It's a weird thing because there is a plot, right? What is so funny?
I cut to the wrong frame and just decided to cheese it up instead.
That works for me. There's a plot, but it's very loose in this, like how quickly this girl gets addicted to caffeine pills. We don't know where she got the damn things. We don't know anything.
No, she says she got them at the pharmacy, like on the way home from school.
Yeah, you're right, because she even makes a comment like, you can get these right over the counter.
Yeah, they're over the counter. They're totally safe.
Right. By the way, you can get them at the front counter of every gas station. They're just caffeine pills. It's not like they're handing out. In fact, there are a lot of gas stations around here where I'm pretty sure if I ask nicely, I could get more than just some caffeine
Probably,
pills.
Yeah.
Excuse me, dude. They're studying for this midterm. They also, Zach decides he wants to do a typical Zach Morris thing and put their band in this band they don't even have. He wants there's some music
suddenly
producer
they're
coming.
Gonna get signed to a record contract. Suddenly,
yeah, it's very loose, like the plot here.
Yeah.
So they do something very questionable because they don't want to sing for him. They dress Screech up as Irish lady and send him into the girls' locker room.
A very specific Irish lady.
Sinead O'Connor. Oh my God. Ugh. How long did it take you to realize that frickin' Dustin Diamond was not the best actor? At least not when he was young, because it was not great back then.
Not long. Not long at all.
He's not good. So yeah, they sent him into the girls' locker room, and this was 1990, so apparently that was okay. That would be very frowned upon today. If I recall on the show, they used to do that shit a lot. That's the exact kind of plot point a lot. So
yeah, that kind of shit does not fly. You can't be a teenage boy going into a locker room of a girls' high school and take photos of them in their bathing suits, make a calendar, send it to a print shop. Just think of the logistics of making all this shit that Zach Morris does. And again, for more on this, watch the series Zach Morris is Trash. Watch
How
that.
does Zach have friends?
I don't know. I think,
these guys would hate his guts.
He's rich. I think that's it. That's what it is. He's rich. He has
he had
money.
That really cool brick phone.
Yeah.
So he sneaks in there. He's got a mop with a mop handle with a microphone attached to it.
The smallest microphone. It's like a lavalier mic. He's got it
and he gets
taped on there.
I'm so excited again.
Yeah.
And zero question as to whether it's Screech or not. His voice doesn't even. He just it's Screech's voice with a bad accent.
Yeah.
So they record it, and then they get mad at Zach for about 30 seconds, and then they're like, "We're gonna be famous," and then somehow they write a song, record all the music, and produce a full music video.
Yeah, that is catchy as
in
hell.
No time.
Yeah.
So we got to talk about this. First of all, throughout this whole thing, we're starting to see Jessie act, I'll quote unquote, act manic, where she's starting to get like, she just says that thing where she just talks really fast because that must mean something, and they do that and
clap a lot. Woo, yeah, whoo, yeah, yeah.
So stupid. But we get that, and meanwhile, I don't remember exactly what. So they do the music video. Like I said, this music video is freaking awesome. It is a 90s song written by somebody who must have truly loved 80s cheese. The whole music video is them in workout gear jumping around on mini trampolines, and the music starts off with somebody doing a cartwheel. There's some jump rope, but the best part, hands down, is when they jump at the end off the mini tramps and there's a freeze frame.
Yeah.
And then the spin dissolve off the screen.
I personally liked when they like layered the different girls' faces over that, but it was like 50% opacity on there, so you could see through them and see everything going on in the background. Now I can do that kind of thing on my computer, but back then it had been a lot harder.
Yeah, if you have not, look, even if you don't want to watch this whole episode, which is like 20 minutes, go Google or YouTube Hot Sunday. Saved by the Bell, and watch the music video. It's up there. It's readily available, so you totally need to.
Yeah.
Somehow he uses this produced music video that they do in a day, and he gets it over. And now they have to come to the Max to sing. I'm so excited for these record producers,
which they didn't They could have just sung, the other song that they
the
fully
Hot
produced.
Song.
Yeah. Like, hey, you're Hot Sunday. Why do you got to do
it? Way more sense.
Yeah. Get a record deal off of your own original content, not off of a karaoke version of a Pointer Sisters song.
Right. So Slater finds out, right, that she's taking caffeine pills. Slater, the biggest misogynistic jerk that's ever walked the planet. So it's so funny because we're supposed to laugh a lot at Screech, who everybody talks about him being inappropriate and stalkerish. But it's played for laughs. At no point with his love for Lisa does he get
creepy.
Yeah.
It's a little too much, but it never crosses the line into, I'm going to get a restraining order on this guy. Although she probably should.
Does. Then we've got Slater, who's just a fucking misogynist. He says some of the
just openly douchebag.
The writers are sitting in a room going, what douchey thing could he say to a girl right now? And that's what we're going to put on the paper.
Yeah. You should be in the kitchen. I'll get you barefoot and pregnant.
Yeah, I remember
Make me a sandwich.
Make me a sandwich, bitch. Yeah. Then we got Zach, who's always scheming them into all kinds and gets them in all kinds of trouble. So it's really weird. I forgot to mention, she's at the Max. The really weird scene. Talk about inappropriate. Mr. Belding, the principal, is at the diner having lunch with one of his students.
Yeah.
And
weird.
It also is very troubling to me how obviously Belding has favorite students, and it's the cool kids.
Yeah.
Does that ever bother anybody else?
I think he actually addressed it in or it gets addressed in the reboot series, where they're just like, why is our principal always hanging out with the cool kids in school? This is weird.
Yeah, he's straight up having lunch at a diner with one of his students and giving them advice. So
no wonder she became a stripper in Vegas.
Right. She does take her geometry test and passes, right? No, she get a B? She doesn't get an A. She freaks out about it. Is it a C? Oh my God, she got a C. When I was in high school,
she was going to have to go to Surfer University too.
Surfer University, where apparently Mr. Belding was there too, and Zach.
And her teacher. Yeah, it's all in her dream.
Oh yeah, it wasn't Belding, it was
he was there.
The one nerdy teacher.
I believe they referred to him as the big kahuna when he came in.
Yeah. So weird. This is a nightmare she has after getting a C. So they set up the thing at the Max. They're supposed to come sing that night. Zach's going to come by and pick Jessie up on his way. He gets there and she's dead asleep on her bed, and he wakes her up. And
actually, we'll cut to it right now.
Tonight?
Come on.
Wait, what am I gonna wear?
Jessie, remember? Lisa's bringing your costume.
Right, I gotta wash my hair.
No, there's no time.
No time! There's never any time! I don't have time to study! I'll never get into Stanford! I'll let everyone down! I'm so confused!
Jessie, hey, just calm down. It's okay.
You're right.
It's okay.
Everything will be okay.
Yeah.
I just need one of these.
Pills? You mean you really are taking drugs?
I need them.
Jessie, give me those.
I need them, Zach! I have to sing!
Jessie, you can't sing tonight.
Yes, I can! I'm so excited! I'm so excited! I'm so scared!
Jessie.
If you were the drama club kid who used that to get into a college, get a hold of us at
Bravo
at the website. Yeah, and if you did, and if it actually worked, let us know. We want to talk to you. We're ready to believe you.
I think it's great. Like, she's just passed out. Like, she has a hard crash from caffeine pills.
Yeah.
Like, how many of these freaking caffeine pills is she taking? It's not like it's caffeine pills.
Yeah.
So,
but they maybe have it
Zach
for me.
And so we didn't talk about it. I mean, Zach got pissed because Slater tried to tell Preppy that this was going on, and Zach, no. The only two better scenes in this show than the Hot Sunday scene is the Slater dance at the Max scene. If you've never seen that, it's pretty great. And when he does the ballet dancing stuff's pretty awesome too. So highly recommend.
Which he is a trained dancer though, so that's at least you know, they're playing to his strengths. Ooh, you know who we need to see? A dance battle between Zach, the Black Power Ranger, and AC Slater. That needs to happen. Have
Again,
a dance
you need
off.
to go check out.
And Alpha 5.
You need to go check out the
down.
mixtape. I can never figure out where to go.
Down to your right. Down to your right.
Go
That's your
check out
left,
the
man.
Mixtape Podcast. No, it's right below me, man. I can see the words. The Mixtape Podcast.
Oh, I thought you were going over there to the QR code.
That too. You can go.
And you
there
can follow
too.
us on any of our social media directly below.
Yeah, you can do that, and you should do that. The Mixtape Podcast over there, we actually recently talked about the Power Rangers. So if you want to go check out that episode, I believe it's episode 78.
I think so.
You can go check that out. What we're telling you is we have 78 episodes of the podcast over there you can go listen to. Thousands of hours of pure entertainment. We highly recommend it. And that's not counting the original Twisted Kids we did, which are not video. So they're over there as well. So highly appreciate it. We are on Spotify, Pandora, Apple, pretty much anywhere you can find your podcast. So go take a listen and enjoy and subscribe. We would appreciate it. While we're at it, before we move on with this one, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to this as well? We would appreciate that too.
Ring the bell.
These are our mini episodes. You're going to get some of these. We're going to get, ring the bell. I don't ring it. I don't know what it means, but do it.
It's basically just signing up for notifications.
If you ring that bell. This is what you can expect on the podcast too.
Yeah.
Just saying. We would appreciate it though. What you're going to get over here, besides these mini episodes, you're going to get movie review episodes. I believe there's one up now, which was our Killer Clowns from Outer Space, our very first. There will be more coming.
Yeah. Our next one is what film, Jay?
Gremlins 2, a new batch. And then a lot more of these little mini episodes. Also reviews of things like music or places we visit, cool things we think you might appreciate, you lovers of the 80s and the 90s and sometimes 70s and maybe early 2000s. I don't know. Things happen.
We'll expand.
Hey, lots of cool stuff going on at the podcast, though, so you should definitely check it out. We can share it now. Tons of celebrity interviews over there. A lot of musicians.
Yep.
And as of most recent, we've interviewed Jim Kimo West. He of Weird Al Yankovic fame. He's been the guitar player for Weird Al on every single album aside from the very first, and he's been with him for over 30 years. So
your camera keeps freezing, and you're like, in the most recent freeze, we're looking up like that. It's great. I'm hoping it froze for a solid like 5 seconds of you just like, hey. Yeah.
The first thing is the acting is so great. And I guess it's, you got a bunch of young kids. Actually, kids playing high schoolers, which is a weird thing, especially in the 90s. You don't actually get this very often. Most people don't know this, but Saved by the Bell started in 1989, but there was a show before it called Good Morning, Miss Bliss, which had Zach, Screech, and Lisa on it, but none of the rest of them. They had another girl on it that ended up not being on it, and so they never talk about her ever again. So anyway,
she moved away to another school.
And they just never talk about her.
Yeah.
That's the dark secret Zach doesn't want to share.
Yeah. She moved to Angel Grove and ended up on Power Rangers.
So while Zach is comforting Jesse, because she's talking about how scared she is, he tells this, do you remember when we were like 9 and we went to CET? We were scared. And that's the whole story. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
And
that doesn't help. That doesn't get her off caffeine.
But Jay, what should he really have said? He should have said this.
Stop it. Get some help.
But he didn't, because he's not a good friend. He's just a terrible friend.
Oh, Zach, you dick. You know what I think is throughout further episodes in the future, anytime they see her go to take a drink of pop, they should slap it out of her hand. Be like,
that's caffeine. What's wrong with you? You're in rehab.
Promised you would stop.
You're supposed to be in recovery.
So after Zach hugs on her and stuff, I guess the next scene, it's literally a couple minutes later. Like, it's not like it's the next day. She's laying in her bed under the covers. All of them come to visit her.
No. You skipped over. You skipped over another key scene.
Oh my God!
When they go back to the Max and Hot Sunday performs, or as I like to call it, Hot Sunday featuring the Banana Split. He decides to show up. Sorry, record executives who took time out of your busy schedule to come check out this unknown band that you want to sign for some unknown reason. One of the 3 people in the show couldn't be there to perform, so we stuck this guy in their place, and they got Screech doing the weirdest air guitar ever, and he's filling in. That doesn't happen. Like, you just cancel. Like, just cancel. Like, you don't need to get a replacement guy.
It's never brought up again. There's these Zags are never brought up again. The band, this is literally the only time we ever see Hot Sunday on the show. This band, there are other bands that appear.
Zack
Four
Attack.
Aces, Zack Attack, but never
Zack
this
Attack
one.
was a dream with Casey Kasem.
We get this weird scene where they all show up at her house and gather around her bedside as if she's getting over like a heroin addiction or something. And Slater brings
she
flowers.
fell victim to eczema.
No, it's you got to go back and see. We got to keep referring back to the podcast to understand what you're talking about.
Yeah. Hey. Listen to
caffeine.
the episodes. I won't tell you which one.
It's caffeine. It's not heroin. Like, she's not on crack. This girl just did.
If anything, she's just gonna be grumpy for a couple of days until you switch her to decaf, and then she'll be fine.
Oh my God! And the true point. Just don't tell her. Just wean her off a little caffeine. Do some caffeine patches. Some caffeine gum. Oh my God! This episode ends fucking horribly. Like, it is so bad. They set up this, like, and it's a bad setup that makes no sense. Where it's like, just so Zach can tell this joke about getting C's on his report card, and that's the only thing he's scared of. Wah, wah. Like, it is just, it's not good. I know there's a lot of nostalgia for this show, and I watched this show.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's did.
Not good.
It was on. I think that's why a lot of us watched it.
So yeah, go watch Saved by the Bell, Jessie Song, Season 2 or 3, Episode 9, depending on where you're going to find it.
Just look for the title, Jessie Song, and you'll find it.
Yeah, like I said, I watched it on Peacock. I'm sure you can probably find it on YouTube if you look.
Yeah, probably.
And other places. It's a very famous episode and a very famous scene. Like, it's just, yeah.
Let us know what gets you so excited and also so scared.
So scared.
Yeah.
Hey, we appreciate you guys watching this. We appreciate you guys tuning into the podcast. If you don't, go on over and have a listen. We do some cool shit online too. We are on TikTok, like Matt said. Everything is going to be down there. You should be able to see all our links and everything, all of our social media. We are on TikTok. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter, as you can see right now. We are also on Mastodon, which is very similar to Twitter. If you want to hop over there, there's our Mastodon, and we are on Facebook. Tapeworms, fans of the Mixtape Podcast, and now we're here. So. And again, the Mixtape Podcast. You can find it on anywhere you get your podcast. There is a little scan thing at the bottom of the screen if you want to shoot that with your phone. That'll take you right over to our link tree. That'll get you everywhere you want to go. Yep. We have a website, which is www.themixtapepod.com. And what else, Maticus?
We have friends of the show.
We have some friends. Yeah. We want to give a shout out to some of the friends of the podcast.
They're all scrolling through here right now.
Some other podcasts we highly recommend you checking out. These are some really cool people that we like to listen to. So give them some love. So yeah, so that's this episode. I'm going to tell you guys right now, the next full feature episode we mentioned will be Gremlins 2. The next mini twist episode, I think, is going to be The Bicycle Man. If you don't know what that one is, yeah.
Oh, I know what it is now. I was like, wait, which one? Which one?
Just go Google The Bicycle Man, and you'll know what it is. So,
Mr. Furley?
You keep saying that, but Don Knotts was Mr. Furley.
You're right. Yeah. Okay.
It's actually the dude from WKRP in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I think that's it. Hey, I want to give a big shout out to our main man Skiznot for our theme music. As always, we appreciate everything you do for the show.
Yeah.
Matt, do you want to close this bad boy out?
Hey guys, just remember to always stay awesome. And also, just like us, you too are a twisted kid. And cut.